The state budget process is underway, but what will it mean for you? I'm Jill Horner. This is Comcast Newsmakers. With me is Delaware State Representative Paul Baumbach. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me, Jill.
Let's talk first about the process. The governor puts forward his proposed budget, which essentially is a set of priorities and ideas that need to be funded through the state. But then a process goes into place where you hear from different departments and there's public input. Give us an idea as to what happens.
Sure. Really, the governor in January passes the baton. He says, here's our proposed budget. It's a starting point. Then the Joint Finance Committee, members of both houses, will meet regularly, a lot in February and March, but also from then until June, and hear from each of the departments and hear why they want to have an increase of so much, or they need the same dollars as last time, or whatever. And you'll also hear from the public who are affected by that department and say, they're doing some good things and we really support this increase, or, we're not really happy with them and we think they need to be more responsible. So it's a very good process in Delaware. But really the baton is in the hands of the legislature right now, and specifically the Joint Finance Committee.
And that's part of the process, but you also receive regular financial updates as part of this process. You don't just take those first numbers given in a proposed budget. You look at the finances throughout as you work on a budget document.
Absolutely. There's a wonderful group called DFAC, Delaware Economic Forecasting Advisory Council. So it has academics, has people in business, people in government who come forward and look at all the latest numbers and say, our best guess for next fiscal year, July 1st to June 30th, is going to be X billion dollars. And precisely. And we're only allowed to commit to spend 98% of that. We're not allowed to have an unbalanced budget. We need to actually have an extra balanced budget. So we get those updates roughly once a quarter, but as the budget process comes up, it then becomes once a month. So we're getting these updates, and really we're not finalizing the budget until June when we get the latest, most accurate expectation projection.
And as we mentioned, you get these at this point monthly. Let's talk about some of the fixed priorities in a budget, including education funding, Medicaid funding. These are things that are increasing in terms of costs, and you need to consider that as part of the process.
Oh, absolutely. Even in a growing state, you may be growing 2% or so for your revenues, but these things, when you have kids and you've got hundreds more kids coming in this year versus last year, next year versus this year, those are fixed costs, and we have to increase them. We can't just say, oh, you can't increase it more than 2%. If we have kids, we need the teachers for them. And if we have Medicaid patients, we need to make sure we provide the state-mandated services, medical services for them. So those can take a bigger chunk out of the budget, which leaves less for the more optional programs that make life better.
And when we talk about these programs and new initiatives to consider, you are considering that as part of this process. Let's talk about some of the things that may potentially happen. An increase in the gas tax. This would be 10 cents a gallon. Where does that idea stand?
It's a proposal. It's not very popular, but I think one of the reasons that it was made is that there's a real need to improve our roads, our schools, and our bridges. And one way to fund them is through a gas tax. Pretty much the users of those roads and bridges are paying to help maintain those. That makes sense. The question is the 10-cent approach the best approach? Is now the right time for that? We need to be maintaining our schools, roads, and bridges, and we need to be doing a better job.
So
that's
focus on infrastructure there and how to fund it. We just have a few seconds left about wastewater management. This is another idea. Households would be paying an average of $50 a year.
Yeah, that's the average for households. Also, businesses need to be paying because they're also affected by that. So it's some states call it a flush tax. So whatever you get out of your house or your business, you have to pay to help the state make sure that our waterways are good, that we can actually eat the fish in our streams.
All right, thanks so much for being with us. Come back, give us an update. Let us know how this is progressing.
I'd love to. Thank you.
We've been talking with Delaware State Representative Paul Baumbach. I'm Jill Horner.